Welcome back to the Creative Juice Podcast. Today's guest is Philipp Batura, the CEO of Topcat Studios and one of the biggest names in Roblox UGC fashion. He's been featured in Forbes, and for good reason. Philipp went from failing at his first Roblox game to building a 7-figure digital fashion brand that now sells more avatar items every month than some of the world's largest global fashion brands. Here's Philipp describing the moment everything changed when one viral item blew up.
One of my items went viral, and this Sigma chain, it holds like sentimental value to me because this was the item that made me look at this and say, like, real money can be made with this.
He also revealed how Topcat now sells over 1 million avatar items every single month.
For what I know, like Gucci does about like 600,000 sales around the world, and then Louis Vuitton does around like 800,000 a month, and like basically Topcat on Roblox does over 1 million.
And later, he breaks down the grind, including the exact number of items you need to publish if you want to reach 10K a month as a UGC creator.
If you're just starting out, what it would take you probably is around 300 unique items to publish in your catalog.
That's just a taste of what's ahead. This episode is packed with insight for anyone serious about creating in UGC. Let's get into it.
This is Creative Juice.
Philipp, how's it going?
Let's go. All great. What about you?
I'm doing very well, man. I'm super excited to have you. Thanks for coming on. It was kind of a crazy story, man. I saw the Forbes article, and then literally I had another post on X or something, and you retweeted or that said something. I'm like, this how it's so random, and then we linked up, man.
I'm a fan.
Bro, I'm a fan.
I've been playing Fortnite and watching your stuff for a while, and also a huge fan of the podcast, sharing some great valuable info here. So super excited to be here. It's an honor.
Then, honor's all mine, dude. Thank you, man. Let's just get started. Every creator's path starts somewhere, and often the first step doesn't go exactly as planned. I know that I can speak for myself as well. But you first joined Roblox wanting to make a game. But can you walk us through like how that failure turned into the spark for building like a digital fashion business?
Sure. I first discovered Roblox just randomly during the pandemic. I was just browsing App Store, like being bored inside my bed. And then I discovered like Roblox. I downloaded it and saw that there's like a bunch of games kind of like on Steam. And then I hopped in like the first game, and I was just like super confused. I didn't know what to do. And it was like super like not straightforward what to do in this app and like in this game. I don't remember the name of the game, but I remember it was some like high school roleplay thing. What differentiates Roblox from other gaming platforms and the style of the games, it's usually like Roblox games, they don't really have like a clear onboarding path and like clear like user journey in terms of like what you need to do inside the games, or as they call them, experiences. Yeah, and I got really confused. Like that confusion was also paired with like interest of like figuring this out. And then like I hopped out that game and went into another one, and then like eventually found something that I like. Like I'm more of a like FPS person, and I discovered Arsenal. I played that game and I thought like, oh, this is like a cute shooter. Like I've been a fan of Call of Duty, Team Fortress 2, Fortnite, and as probably most of people listening to the podcast, I had like a dream of like, oh, I wish I could like make my own game one day. But the entry barrier to the industry was, and I feel like still is, pretty high, unless we're talking UGC. And soon after, I found out that like all of these games on Roblox, they're not made by Roblox itself. They're made by like indie creators. And in fact, it's much easier and faster and cheaper to launch a game on Roblox in comparison to like Steam or other distribution channels. And within probably like 2 weeks, I transitioned from how do I play this to how do I make a game. And then I downloaded Roblox Studio and started to like playing around with the engine. I don't really have like programming background or like modeling background. My background is mainly in management and business development. So like I started playing around with the engine, but then I also started to, reaching out to other developers on the platform and just connecting with people and then trying to build a team, which eventually I succeeded it. And I spent the next like 2 years of my free time life. Yeah, just like coming back from work, opening my laptop and just like working on the side project, which was yeah, just like a shooter game on Roblox that flopped.
Yes and no, man, because look at that led to what this. So, but still, that is insane. So you literally went within 2 weeks from just hopping on platform, playing one of their games to like, hey, I want to build my own game.
Yeah,
That is wild.
yeah, but it's like, I even though I went to that step within 2 weeks, like I always had this like dream inside of me to, make my own game. And I did make some apps, and I actually had some like financial success with iOS apps before. But
Okay.
but yeah, so like I guess I've always been passionate about building products and delivering them to people. And I have been, getting like great joy from people using the products. And this means a lot, this validation. And yeah, and eventually that game flopped. But then, because I had like a team around that was working with me on the game, and I also built some connections with some like producers on the outside. And it just happened to be that like one of the producers was looking for a team to make some branded mini games. And I had the people, I was very confident in them because I had worked with them for, just slightly over 2 years. And yeah, we just hopped in those projects and, made like a quick buck
Yeah.
from those like mini brand integrations. And after that, eventually I was just experimenting with like different projects and different business models. And I was even trying to fundraise from like the Roblox Game Fund for a project of ours. And then also to fundraise for a studio that, kind of like everyone was kind of doing the same thing at the time, which is, making their own games, but also like kind of making money, not from that, but from like brands coming into Roblox. Yeah, and I was also kind of like trying to do that to initially like bootstrap our own games and our own projects, which I was like mostly passionate about. How that led to Avatar Items, which is, the core of my business now, is basically back then, Avatar Items creation, which is on the platform, it's called Roblox UGC. Back then, it was private, and only like a handful of designers, creators were like picked by Roblox, and you had to apply with a portfolio for, getting access to publishing Avatar Items to the marketplace. It was only, I think, like once a year, and that you could apply. Yeah, so I got some, and then I just saw like a random notification that, okay, like we're taking in applications again. I think it was in 2022. Yeah, it was like end of 2022. And yeah, I just like, had a concept artist, had a modeler, contacted them, and yeah, we developed a few items for the portfolio. We applied to the Roblox UGC program. And then within, I think like 3-4 months, I got like an amazing email saying that congratulations, we have picked you for the Roblox UGC program. And yeah, and that's how I got like how it transitioned from, experimenting with a bunch of different projects into eventually Avatar Items, though I didn't see success with it like straight away.
That's an awesome story. I love like UGC because there's so many paths. Like I just came in same way. I just wanted to make a game, and then I had no idea there's so many other avenues of business or jobs that can come out of it or spark it. So that's fascinating. I definitely want to dive in a little bit more on that. Forbes recently profiled you and called Topcat a 7-figure Roblox fashion empire. What was it like to see your work recognized on that level? And what do you think it means for like UGC creators, I guess, in general?
First of all, it's super humbling that somebody like Forbes would report my story. And shout out to Charlie, the reporter, who made it possible. And then secondly, I'd say that I'm really happy that like the mass media is taking more interest into Roblox from this angle and is presenting it as not just like this gaming platform or kind of like a, kids playground with these, just like funny, cute, blocky characters, but also showing like another side of Roblox that is not really shown to the general public and what people don't really know about. And I'm super happy that this is happening because like this is what Roblox is for me. For me, Roblox isn't just like a gaming engine. It's not just like a platform where kids steal brain rots and grow gardens. It's also this platform where people engage with themselves, like in the virtual world with their virtual identities. And these virtual identities, they dress just like as much or even more that they do in the real world. And there is a 2023 report that I really like to reference, saying that basically a lot of people from Gen Z were questioned, and then they said that they think that styling their avatars in the virtual world is more important than styling themselves in a physical world. And I
I
can
did not hear
definitely,
that. I believe it. Yeah,
yeah,
I mean, I believe that.
man, I can like myself, I can super relate to this
Yeah.
because like in the real world, I'm a super simple guy.
Yeah,
Or
you're a
all I
black
wear,
shirt guy
yeah,
like
just like
me.
exactly. Like I have like black shirts, like white shirts. You know, if it's sunny, I put on like a long sleeve, and then
Yeah.
just like simple linen pants.
Yep.
But man, you'd want to see my Fortnite locker. You know, like that's where all the money goes, or like the Roblox like limited items.
Yeah.
And this is what Roblox is to me, is it's this virtual, you know, the term metaverse has kind of died, but like Roblox is what we have like the closest to it, and it's like thriving. And yeah, to me, Roblox is this, I would say, metaverse where people express themselves through their avatars, and I just happen to be creating like items that help them to do that. Yeah, I'm happy that the general public is taking more interest like in this side of Roblox.
It makes sense. It's huge. It's a huge motivator on Fortnite and Roblox for sure, especially since you can really customize everything of your character. You're not limited to what Fortnite gives you to customize. So I can see it going even crazier right on Roblox.
Yeah, and it's really cool that you mentioned that we're pretty much not limited to anything. Well, besides some like safety
Yeah.
guidelines that make sure that the avatars are appropriate. Avatars, my business is mainly like avatar items, which is like accessories or clothing. We do also have some avatar bundles like on sale, which are like custom characters that people can buy on the platform, and then also use like our accessories or clothing on top of their custom characters. But I know some people that specialize in the like custom characters, man, and like the level of creativity of that is like insane. Just literally, I highly recommend to everyone opening the Roblox marketplace and filtering it by like characters and most favorited or best selling, and just like seeing like just like how crazy creative people can go with yeah, like expressing themselves in this virtual world.
You know, for sure. Look, I know as a primary Fortnite player, like I one day will maybe get that, you know what I mean? But you know, I've been really keeping my eye on Roblox, and what you guys have been doing over there is insane. And even the tie-ins with fashion, and you know, I'm sure we'll talk about that. Let's talk about a little about a business. I know we talked about it a little bit already, but like scaling is where the real test begins, right? So like Topcat now sells over 1 million avatar items a month. Like
Yeah.
that's insane, dude. What does scaling to that level actually look like day to day, and how do you keep the momentum going?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it is indeed, like if you think about it, it's a crazy metric. And I try to compare us to, you know, some like established IRL brands. Again, like this is not solid information. Don't quote me on this, but for what I know, like Gucci does about like 600,000 sales around the world. And then Louis Vuitton does around like 800,000 a month. And like basically Topcat on Roblox does over 1 million. And yeah, that's insane if you think about it.
Bro,
Again, like
my God, that's incredible.
yeah, and it's man, it's insane to think about it, because it's like 1 million items sold every month, but then also people wear these items, and then like so many more like see them.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I remember when one of my items went viral, I went on a bunch of like TikTok videos and like YouTube videos, and I just saw like my item, like still to this day, pretty
That's
much
so
like
cool.
a lot of like Roblox content online. It has people wearing my items, and that's like super, you know, validating and humbling to see. Makes me really happy. But it was a lot of work.
Yeah, no,
Still
I'm
is.
sure. I'm sure to get that. Yeah, I didn't even think about the compound on that, because more people are buying your outfits or clothing items, and then the more people that are seeing it or wanting to play, and you're essentially getting into what, 40, sometimes what's the highest CCU on Roblox? 40
Yes.
million plus people could potentially every day be seeing your items. That is
Exactly.
incredible, dude. You could be history books, man. I'm serious. I'm serious. Does this transition into real life apparel? Like,
Well, there have been like a few creators experimenting with that. For example, Roblox, I think last year they announced an integration with Shopify, which allows people to like order IRL stuff basically from the inside of Roblox without leaving the platform. Though like I haven't seen anyone continue doing that even if I do, like, I would still, like, when it just came out, I projected that this may have success with like games and purchasing like in-game merch, because like that's what's already happening. Like a lot of games on Roblox, they also monetize by selling merchandise, and they're very, very successful with it. But I haven't seen, so like that tool is kind of coming into the already existing market and like the already existing demand and supply, and just like connecting it in a more seamless way. Though like I haven't seen any UGC creator, which is like an avatar items creator on Roblox, be like big and like successful with like selling merch. Like some people do, but I don't think it compares to the scale of the games. So yeah, like maybe until I see that this market is like growing and there is like progression being made and it's worth stepping in, maybe I would start doing that. But for now, I'm just mostly focused in the digital. And man, it's more exciting. Like this is the future. Why would I take a step back?
For sure. It was just a thought, because I'm like, look, I was instantly going like, dude, you're gonna have a Louis Vuitton Gucci collab soon, bro. They want some of that metaverse action.
This is a dream. This is
metaverse air quotes. No, cool, brother, cool. So timing is everything when it comes to trends, obviously, right? So Roblox fashion moves at the speed of memes. Like, how do you spot trends early and turn them into items before the moment passes?
Yeah, sure. Initially, when I published like the first batch of my items, it did include some like items in the, like meme items. And ironically, the first success that I ever had with a Roblox avatar item was a meme item. It was a Sigma chain. And this was like, funny enough, I posted this item way before the Sigma meme took off.
It's your fault. My kids will not stop saying Sigma. It's your fault.
Well, I'm just the one who hopped in the trend. I didn't create it.
You amplified it though.
Yeah. Well, basically at the time of like the Sigma trend where like people were like mogging and publishing those memes. Yeah, one of my items went viral. And this Sigma chain, it holds like sentimental value to me, because this was the item that made me look at this and say, like, real money can be made with this, and like I could potentially like turn this into a real like business with it, like a sustainable model. Where like prior to that, like I was just looking at UGC as like it's so cool to just like make your own like custom items, what you want, and then you can wear them. I didn't think of this as a business. The business for me was like in the games, brand partnerships, but this was just like a thing that I enjoyed and like we did for fun. But I saw the first success with like a meme themed item, if you could call it that. And then I tried to replicate that, which didn't work. It didn't work because I learned that it didn't work like as a business strategy, but it worked because I learned that, okay, basically how the Roblox marketplace works is that it's super, like avatar items, they're super dependent on the marketplace algorithm that sells them. You really need to hit the algo to see success with your items. How it works, that again, from my experience, it takes 1 to 3 months for an item to get picked up by the algorithm and just like realize its potential and start selling. There are like a few exceptions to the rule. And the like shortest time that I've seen is like 2 weeks after publishing, where an item gets picked up and starts selling. And there is also some items that I published, and I was like, oh my, this is like an insanely good item for sure. Like the public is gonna love it, and then nothing, like zero, like 1 or like 3 sales a day, which is like nothing in the Roblox world. And then I see that in 6 months it goes into the best selling. The timeline of like your items getting picked up by the algo and start selling can vary. Again, on average 1 to 3 months. Some exceptions to the rules, but the average is 1 to 3 months. Man, in 1 to 3 months, like it mean trend, it already passes. And I remember I even found some websites that track memes, like meme analytics. And then I tried to basically see, okay, there was like, I remember still, like a Smurf cat that was popular, a meme, and another thing was Mr. Peebles talking cat head, another meme that was popular. So I made those on Roblox. By the way, I deleted them. So that's for this not to be part of my legacy. But yeah, I tried also to basically capitalize on those memes, but that didn't work. And that didn't work because, it takes time for the algo to pick up the item. And by the time it could potentially do that, the trend would already pass. So eventually, I switched to experimenting with like different categories, and then I switched to streetwear, like virtual streetwear. And not just any streetwear which is like as realistic as possible. So at the time that Roblox, by the way, they were just like opening UGC creation to the public. And right now, by the way, like anyone can sell avatar items. All you need is a subscription, which is like $10 a month. Yeah, like a laptop with a connection to internet, and you can sell your items. Back then, there weren't really many like high quality realistic items on the platform. It was more like stylized cartoony stuff. There was some realistic, but not at the scale that they are now. And now looking back, I feel like I spotted that trend that people are starting to want more like realistic items. And we started delivering that. There is like many different themes and categories that you can make your items in. As we already talked about, there is avatar bundles or characters, as people call them. There's also like a very crazy niche called suits, which is a random funny character which covers like your whole body and just makes you look like that character. It's like honestly like a bypass to sell like a character for cheaper.
I see. Kind of like Fortnite maybe does a little bit sometimes with their little workarounds to get a character.
Exactly. Yeah. And there is like so many, man. Now we can even sell like emotes, and which are, by the way, like right now as we're recording, end of September 2025, emotes are like, I would say, like the successful emotes are the highest like grossing, just like items on the platform. They're not even items, they're emotes. Yeah. And then based on like my knowledge, like an emote can generate like 3K US a day, which is like crazy if you think about like $2,000 to $3,000 like dollars a day, just like a simple emote. Though there is a catch to it though, and the catch is that this is like, again, like exceptions to the rule. And the rule is that there is like so many people publishing them, and it's like so hard to, like hit the algo because of the entry threshold to making an emote, like a simple animation, is much lower. So making like a detailed 3D model. And like besides emotes and animations, which are hopefully coming up soon, there is like other groups which are accessories, or like things that are kind of like stuck to your avatar at like a fixed position that you set it up to. These can be like hats, like front accessories, neck accessories, like a chain, whatever. Yeah, basically accessories for every part of your body. And then there is also a different category. It's called layered clothing. Layered clothing is it's the most complex one besides like characters. Just like it's more difficult to create it than a simple accessory, because you also have to know how to like enrig and prepare this model to comply with the technical guidelines of the platform to publish. And this layered clothing, it fits any R15 type of avatar. And so this is like all the main kind of genres, all the main categories that you can work in. And then like inside each category, there's like different genres. There is like meme items, there is again like anime items, which is mostly not licensed IP. And there is like streetwear, there is like chibi kawaii items, and there is items more kind of like stylized that fit the classic 1.0 avatar, woman 3.0, boy 3.0, or like the realistic layer clothing ones. And we mainly focused on like the realistic layer clothing and accessories back then. This up to date, it still is our main niche that we operate in, and we have like the largest success in this niche. And this makes me think that this is the way that like where the market is growing, and Roblox is indeed, like, I can confirm it's maturing. And I have a lot of items with like probably most of my best-selling items have like an 18 plus audience.
Over 18.
Of buyer over 18. Yeah, we don't see like any age older than 18. Like anything that's older than 18 is just like written as 18 plus in the analytics. Yeah, so from back then, we picked this as our main niche, just like realistic streetwear items. And we still operate in like different categories. We also do like chibi kawaii, but the main thing is still like realistic items, pretty much.
Cool. Like, so because the next question is piggybacking kind of just off that, right? So like, what pushed you to make that pivot, from memes, and like, how do you think that like for memes to streetwear? Like, how do you think that really, like, how has that shaped your success?
Yeah, it was honestly just like trial and error and learning what works and taking like an analytics based approach and just like focusing on what works and what doesn't, and then improving what works and then scaling that and like repeating that. Right now we have a full-time team working on this, and they're a huge part of the success, of course. And how we operate, we publish right now 1 to 3 items every day. That's like including the weekends.
Wow.
And yeah, and how like I personally work. I work for like 2 to 3 months with like no weekends off, and then I just travel for like a week to reload, and then I come back and I have like over 100 items to publish. Yeah, but that's, I feel like it's what it takes to achieve success with Roblox UGC. It's a lot of like hard work and grind. That's kind of it.
Cool. No, great answer, man. I'm still like, that is wild because like, I know running a business, it's just you're never off, and UGC is such a fast moving space, and the people that are updating consistently, always throwing games, it's just math. The more you're putting out, the higher chances you're going to hit. So like you have to do that. So yeah, I understand that grind, and that's good on you, because I know some people don't even take that week off after 3 months, man. So good on you for doing that, because you need it. You have to recharge. You can't just burn yourself out, brother. And I'm still messed up on that. It takes about a month to 2 months, 3 months to see your work actually finally get into the algorithm. That is a crazy timeline, because the whole time, it would be hard to hit memes or those things. I can understand with that timeline. And then also just that's such like a backlog of
exactly
trying to understand
ideas,
what works and not. In the 3 months is crazy, man. You guys, that is wild.
Yeah. And I can share more about like the pipeline that we operate in, to kind of, give some hints to people that perhaps would want to do the same or achieve like similar results. Because like honestly, what it takes, it's a very like structural, like analytical process and like metrics based decisions. And how we operate, like I'm in charge of the creative and like management side of things. And how I do is like daily monitor all the trends on the platform, but also outside of the platform. And I keep this like living whiteboard of all the ideas that I find. So like where to search for them. For example, like on Roblox, one of the best sources is, just look what's best selling and look what's most favorite on the platform itself, to get an idea of like what style or maybe like what theme is trending. Maybe when Squid Game was popular, Roblox reflects that in the real world, which is like a crazy thing to think about. Roblox indeed is like I think it's the fastest, like digital reflection of the trends in the real world, and just probably in the other side of the digital outside of Roblox itself.
Yeah.
Like whenever a show is popping, there's already like avatar items and games in the theme of the show on Roblox. Where like an event happens, it's already on Roblox. Like a big game is getting popular, it's already on Roblox.
Yeah.
And so you need to really analyze also like what's trending on Roblox itself and in the avatar item space, but also like what's trending outside of Roblox. And I specifically watch a lot of like TikToks and YouTube videos in the Roblox theme as well. Like you can literally, just like a quick idea that can help if you're willing to scale up your avatar item sales, is literally just go on TikTok and put like Roblox outfit ideas and see what videos are getting popular right now. And this should be like a good reflection of like what people want to wear, what people want to buy right now. Also watch some like YouTube videos. There is like a huge genre on YouTube of people making like limited series filmed inside Roblox. Usually it's like teenage drama series filmed inside Roblox games, roleplay games, and then published and edited onto YouTube, and they get like huge views. There's that massive channel that's not in the Roblox theme, but they do kind of a similar thing. It's like starts with M, I think.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. My kids love that stuff. Meep.
Roblox has like its own world of this sort of content on YouTube.
My kids love that stuff as well, man. Yeah, we'll have to think of that. I'm not sure, but I believe you, brother, because my kids love the live action like shows that people are making, but like on Roblox.
And also like you gotta just, besides like Roblox, social media about Roblox, you also need to follow, real world like fashion trends and see like what's popular and what people want to buy. Like I would say right now the trend is a bit going down, but I would say like 2-3 months ago, like Chrome Hearts was like super, super popular, and a bunch of people were making, either uncopyrighted Chrome Hearts items, which I highly don't recommend, or what you can do is also just like get an understanding of what people want, and, maybe produce your own unique variations of the items, and make sure you don't, violate any trademarks. And like in the case of Chrome Hearts, for example, they have trademarks for like so many like shapes of their crosses. It's actually like very hard to work around. And just like, but go to like Victor Z, which is like a website with free uncopyrighted like shapes of whatever. You can put like, vintage cross shape and just like find something and figure out, okay, how can I use this, incorporate into my item that would be in the theme of what people want to buy right now, but also that in the sense that it wouldn't like violate any brand's rights, and be super respectful to that. And like besides analyzing the real world fashion trends as well, also needs to analyze like yourself and analyze your own work and see what you are like what you publish, what sells best, what doesn't, and just always iterate and focus on what works best. And another like great advice that has helped me to stay motivated and continue growing further is, I came up with this metric that I manually track for myself, which is average revenue per item, per unique item. And this is very important. It's not average item per like every item I publish, because I publish a lot of variations of the same items, like color variations or, different fits to like different type of avatars. But also now we have like PBR items, which I also, in my world of analytics, I consider like a variation of like the same unique item. And what I do is basically the way I structure my work is each item is a Google Drive folder. And then I have like a custom, did you know you can write bots on like your own software on top of like Google? Pretty much.
Yeah.
And I have like a custom bot that I've written, and it calculates like each item that I have. And then I also, of course, measure my monthly revenue. And then I come up and I calculate this metric of like average revenue per unique item. And I always push myself to, improve the revenue of the item, which is, like it's, I feel like it's the closest thing that I could come up with to, measure the quality of my work and the work resonating with the general public. And I highly recommend doing that.
Crazy, man. You had to come up with your own analytics, dude. You're so early. That's just it as a business. It's not just, hey, I enjoy making clothes, I'm just going to publish it. Like it's analyze every day. You're looking at trends. You're seeing how much you're selling. You're seeing how much you're making, you're seeing what works, what doesn't. It's like it's a never-ending cycle to try to run your business.
Of
and I think that's very important. A lot of people just, you don't. I think that was like the biggest eye opener for me. Is I've always like, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do this. I never understood how much work goes into something to make it until I finally like started my own gaming company. And it's like you can't fathom the amount of work it takes. But there's reasons why certain people are successful, and it's just that, man. You just have to have that grind, that just passion. You obviously love what you do, and it shows, dude. Look, thank you. Like that's crazy that you just shared that. Like you're sharing like a huge part of your company. That's amazing. Thank you so much, honestly. Because I was not expecting you to share that. Thank you.
I honestly, I have like, thank you for inviting me, because like, as I said, I have so many people just like DMing me, especially after like the Forbes article, and saying, yo, Philip, like I was thinking of, starting in UGC, but like I heard that it's really hard to like succeed, like what it takes and like what to expect. Or some people, sharing their shops and just, asking me for advice. And, I always respond to everyone. But like sometimes it's just a bit like too overwhelming to see like so many messages. And man, and honestly, like most of the questions are the same. So I'm really glad that we can like sit down, and I could also, besides answering your questions, I could also answer the questions of, the people that want to succeed with Roblox UGC. And hopefully this will be of like great use to.
You just timestamp this, dude. You're good. Like you just send this. No, it's true, man. I know exactly what you're going through. I get questions all the time, and you just don't. I don't have time to answer them, and And this format is nice to be able to just, kind of speak candidly on that. Oh man, and also I do want to say this, like it is a lot of work, but it's also, it's worth it. At least I feel like it. You know what I mean? Now I can run my own business if I want to, or work wherever. Like it all led to something, but it was also I get to work in games every day. I get to do something I enjoy. I'm not in the oil field working 84 hours a week, freezing.
Yeah, of course.
So,
this freedom is worth it. It's worth the grind every day. Like even though we're like just busy with work all the time, this is something that we love, and it's 100% worth it.
Oh, for sure, man. So here's some more stuff you can give a little nuggets
Let's
for
go.
for some people. So a lot of people watching probably wonder how they can follow in your footsteps, right? So what does it really take to go from 0 to, let's say, 10K a month as a Roblox UGC creator? And like, what advice would you give someone just starting out?
Sure. The short answer to that, if you're just starting out, what it would take you probably is around 300 unique items to publish in your catalog. And then longer, you can definitely achieve it with like a smaller amount of items. And it's really good that you like mentioned this threshold because, Roblox, it's an amazing economy that you can participate in and make a living from anywhere in the world. And I highly recommend, doing that if that's what you love. And I feel like 10K is like a number with which you can kind of like travel. And besides just enjoying work, you can also, get to know the world a bit more. And like with 10K, you can travel and you can have the freedom to choose wherever you want to live. And that's like a good like benchmark to aim for when you're starting out. And like going back to what it would take, I would first like think if like what your motivation is. If it's just the money, perhaps you would find more success and faster success with games. If it's if you for some reason feel like very passionate about making your own avatar items, maybe you're like a long time Roblox player and you always wanted to make something unique, something cool to express yourself, then perhaps you should take this path of Roblox UGC. And also important to think about like realistically what your skill set is. If you're more, and even like if you're young, if you don't know yet like what your skill set is, if you're just like getting started and just trying out different things and figuring out like what you like more, what like you're best at, just like think about it. Like what you like more at school. Do you like maths? Then perhaps like go down the programming side and work on some games. If you're more with like visual arts, if you like drawing, I don't know. In my school, I had like design and technology, and we used to, manufacture some items.
Yeah.
Even back then, I made like an iPod stand of wood, and look what this led to.
You could be selling that right now.
And that's what I honestly enjoyed more at school. I was good at maths, but I enjoyed more, this design and technology class. And, if you're young, if that's also something you enjoy, go down the 3D modeling path. And like good news for you, it doesn't look like AI is gonna take over your career anytime soon, because like all the AI tools that we've seen that were tried out, man, they're trash, and we use like absolutely zero AI in our pipeline besides, I don't know, maybe some like name generators or like improve this text but don't make longer. Go down the 3D modeling path, download Blender, which is free and more user-friendly than Maya, and start playing around. And then if this is something you like, if this is the skill that you're willing to develop and like push yourself through and also enjoy, then you could try out like Roblox UGC. If you already have like strong modeling skills, like this is a huge plus. This is going to help you out a lot. And what I recommend for somebody like that is opening like the Roblox marketplace, filtering, some clothing or accessories items by best selling, and just look at like what's trending. Look at it and just like objectively answer a question. Can I make a better item than this? How can an item be better? Doesn't just mean that the item needs to be like more detailed, though it's a big plus. Maybe something that the like other creators don't. For example, that like an item is worn on like specific avatar types, and maybe it fits just a few, but on others not. And you can like figure out how you can make an item in this category fit like a broader like category of pretty much like people. Just a quick example of that. There is some chains that are very popular on Roblox, and these chains fit like the classic 1.0 avatar, but also like not boy, but like Roblox in 2.0. So they kind of like appeal to a broader audience. Another good example of that is that If you go on TikTok and search for like Roblox outfit ideas, you will see like a lot of like woman 3.0 avatars doing these like trendy TikTok dances. And they usually, what those players like to do, they take like the basic woman 3.0 avatar and like remove like skinny legs and put like blocky legs to it and wear like a mini skirt. Then basically there is a lot of like mini skirt, like it's a bit challenging to make a miniskirt that would fit like a regular avatar, but also this like weird modified version of it. But if you do, like that skirt will probably have more success because it will appeal to a broader audience and like appeal to the market demand. Also, you can look and see like somebody is making like super realistic like vintage like leather jackets. Can you make a better version of that? Like there is a lot of like tips and tricks that if you're a modeler that you would know, like understand how Roblox renders the items, understand how tiny details such as, I don't know, if you like pinch a part of the item, if it's more like triangle shape like that, then the shade is going to fall and make the item like too dark. But so you kind of have to, pinch the material so it's not really triangle, it's more thin and, kind of curvy. This way, like the shading would work better and like the item would look more like appealing to the audience. And yeah, if you already have like modeling skills, have a look and just like try to figure out how you can make like better items. And then also if you're into avatars, character bundles, also have a look into where you can bring in some innovation in that space. And also another great example, for example, like Who's Trade, who's also like a massive creator, probably bigger than me. There were like some flip-flops that are popular with shark faces on them.
Okay,
And
yeah.
what Who's Trade did, he took that idea and he also made shark face like flip-flops, slides, not flip-flops. And then he also like inverted their normals so they would shine. And they would have this like cool effect, which a lot of people do, but he just applied it to those like slippers. And he made this like shark face slippers with inverted normals that would like shine when you walk. And that's like a really cool like thing that you can, be creative with, innovate, and it will resonate with the public. So yeah, just like analyze and then think of like, okay, can I do better than this? And then try. Yeah, another like thing you need to know of is that publishing each items, it costs money, it costs Robux. And if you have like 0 Robux on your account, it is really hard to get started. Because like each publish, it depends on the category, but on average, it costs around 1,500 to 2,500 Robux like in total to publish an item, which is for me what I calculate in my world. It's around like $9, around $9.
Interesting. So yeah, there's a cost to entry.
$9, of course. Yeah, $9. So it's good for you to get some Roblox flowing before you start experimenting with your avatar ideas. Maybe work on some games, maybe work on some commissions, and just like stack up some Robux, like save up some Robux. You can go and buy them on a website, but it would be more expensive if you were just figure out a way to earn them from the economy.
Yeah.
And and just like slowly start experimenting with your ideas. And again, like just remember, it takes time for the items to pick up. Even if you made like a genius item, it would resonate with the audience. It takes 1 to 3 months to get it picked up by the algo. And then also there's no guarantee. I have some items that are truly love and I really wish that they were popular, but they're not. And that's like also a part of, the grind, a part of our work is that like not every work, no matter how much you believe in, no matter how like solid the idea is, it's still not a guarantee that it's going to be popular. And that's where we're coming to the part that like, quality is super important and like, uniqueness and innovation is important. But then the other like part of the equation is quantity, and you need to pump the items out like consistently if you want to, get some, revenue flow with it. And going back to what would it take to, to get to like a basic level of income of like 10K a month from Roblox UGC items. Just aim for I would say like $30 like monthly recurring revenue from an item. So it would take around like 300 items for you to publish that would see some like success, and then you will scale to this. And it's possible. I have a friend that I helped around with. We actually worked together, and then he was like, yo, Philip, I also kind of want to do what you're doing, and what advice could you give? And I pretty much gave him the same advice as I just now, and he got to his first 10K in I think it was 5 months, in around 5 months, which is Yeah, and he's not a modeler, so he hired other modelers. He partners with other modelers, and he got to 10K a month within 5 months. It's very doable, but you need to do it right. And also, he's like very passionate about it. And you need to really love this. Like, if you don't love this, just like the money, it like comes after, you know.
Yeah,
It's like love what you do, make analytics based decisions, and then you'll see success and money is like part of that success.
Yeah, dude, awesome advice. Wow, man. It reminds me, I mean, it's just a lot, just like making games. You know what I mean? You love these games. This is the next hit. You publish no plays. You got to keep trying. And
yeah, been there, done that.
yeah, until you get something. Wow. No, that's
well,
I mean,
this is the creative juice. We gotta spill all the juice.
Yeah, dude, you're telling all the juice, man. Wow. No, seriously. Yeah. Thank you so much for being so candid. Well, dude, this is awesome. I'm learning some stuff, man. I might be making some
yeah, go for it.
Some clothes after this. No, brother, this is awesome. So, the creative side is one thing, but running the numbers is a whole nother challenge. Like Roblox takes 70% cut of UGC sales, yet you've built a profitable studio. What do you think about margins, growth, and sustainability in a marketplace like that?
Yeah, that's a great question. And that's a question that I get a lot from people that like don't build on Roblox. And my answer to them is always the same as like, don't think about it in like the context of, okay, like I made this thing, I published there, and then Roblox like takes 70% of the cut and I get just like 30, like bad Roblox for me. No, it doesn't really work that way. How it works is like, okay, if we're talking about the business side of things, you need to think about it this way. You can make like this amount of money with this amount of work, and it will take you this like basically your profit, your costs. Like if you can make your ends meet, if you can be profitable, then it's a cool business model and you should pursue and scale it. And that's possible in Roblox. And another thing that people forget, besides just like it's just a totally different business model that you need to look at differently. The thing that people forget is like, again, if we're talking about games, we don't pay for server costs. Us as like avatar items, we don't pay for server costs either. So and also the greatest thing besides the server costs is the marketing costs. Like from what I know, again, I haven't had experience working like in the classical gaming industry, but from what I know, even if you make a genius game, publish it on Steam, you have a super low chance of seeing success with it. You need to partner with a publisher. That would probably take like 70%.
Oh yeah, yep. Facts.
Yeah, mobile free-to-play gaming, such a highly saturated industry. And man, you need like so much money just to pump into traffic. And I read some reports saying that basically right now there is like no innovation pretty much in mobile free-to-play games. It's mostly just like these giants that have like so many games, and because they operate at such a large scale, they can like bring down their traffic cost, then like make the ends meet. But man, the industry is really sad, and Roblox is very different, because on Roblox it's kind of like YouTube but for gaming. When you make a YouTube video, you don't really think of you kind of do think of ways like how to market it, make some shorts, but anyways, it all comes down to, hitting the algorithm. And the algorithm does a pretty good job of like figuring out what's a good video and what's not a good video. Yeah. And it's the same with Roblox games. It's the same with Roblox items. If you make an item and it's a good item that people are going to love, it will see success. If you do it consistently, if you do it at a scale, you will make it work. Same with Roblox avatars. Like they take the marketing costs, they take the server costs, and as a result, you can, you have like a beautiful, really, really working business model that you can work within. And if we talk games specifically, I think I really recommend somebody who's, just like capable of doing this, just like do a deep research and compare how much money it takes to build like a game on Roblox, and like what's the ROI, like return on investment on Roblox, and what's the ROI on I don't know, like a Steam game or like a mobile game. Basically, what I would see is that, again, there's exceptions to each rule, but from what I would expect to see is like you can, with less money and with less time, you can build incredibly great products on Roblox and like greater, which is, Grow a Garden and Scylla Brainrot are amazing examples of. You can make greater things with lower costs and the business model works, and that's all that matters, not that your cut is 30 and like Roblox is 70. Yeah. And then also it's really not. It's like Roblox's cut is like 30%, but then the 40% also goes to a place of distribution. Most of the time, it's the Roblox marketplace. So that's why people say, okay, they take 30 plus 40.
I gotcha.
That's 70. In reality, it's a bit more complex than that. The 40% goes to, the channel of distribution. Most of sales, they do come from the Roblox marketplace, is true. Though there is like some experiences, games that sell you items, like Catalog Avatar Creator, and just a lot of dress-up games and other random games. And they get 40% as well. And if you're really, really annoyed about that, okay, build your own game, sell through your own game. You'll make more, like a bigger cut from your own items, but also from the items of other people who have like this feature enabled. But it's very difficult. It's very challenging. And I also think that that's fair because it's like, that's the most difficult part. The most difficult part is like selling. And I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I do sit and think like, we created this. It'd be great to have like the slightly larger percentage.
Yeah.
I do wish that like 40% would go to us as creators, but like I can also understand the other side and the other logic that are like the most difficult part is like selling, and that's why they get 40%.
Yeah, it makes sense. Same with Fortnite, right? We don't have to do server costs. You don't have to port to different platforms. There's an audience. You know what I mean? There's that, like, if traditional game development is millions just to even get there out the door,
Course.
And much lower cost to create a game, with lots of easier tools to make it accessible for people with maybe not a video game background. So yeah. No, for sure. It was an interesting question I wanted to ask. So no, I think that was a great answer. Let's talk about partnerships. So they can kind of be game changing when done right. So you've done collaborations with like Care Bears and partnered with some Roblox influencers. Like, what have you learned about translating brand IP into Roblox fashion that actually connects with players?
What I've learned is that there is still a lot of work to do in the industry, like technical work for the platform. Why? Because like the main thing that brands look for is impressions. They don't care, like generally, they don't care about the revenue that we generate with the items, because that's like let's be honest, that's like pennies to the hundreds of millions and billions of that they make. Though they're not pennies to us as creators. And the main thing for brands is impressions. With avatar items, like with experiences, you can achieve great outreach, you can achieve great impressions, really like great ROI in comparison to like other marketing channels like Facebook ads, whatever. Like that's really possible with games, and that's like thriving with games, though it has like shifted more to making more like native integrations rather than let's just make like I'm not gonna say like XYZ world on Roblox, brand world on Roblox, and just like post about it on Twitter, LinkedIn, and then there's gonna be billions of visits that everyone calls plays or whatever. It's like brand partnerships work on Roblox in games. They don't really work such like a big scale with avatar items, and my personal explanation to this is because we don't have instruments to measure the impressions. We don't have the instruments to measure the metrics. Like all the basically analytics that we get of our items is limited by the moment of sale. So we can only like track the number of sales, but the real magic, the like real outreach happens not when a person buys the item, but when the person wears it and like represents it, and other people in the same virtual like space, they see that brand and they get that impression. We unfortunately don't yet have like a tool to measure that, and we can't like project nor deliver solid like metric results for these marketing campaigns. That's why unfortunately now the brand partnerships through like avatar items is limited to either like launching a branded experience, a game, and then collaborating with some UGC creators to include some items with that for engagement purposes, or just like smaller collaborations with making, I don't know, maybe like 5-10 items, but not bigger than that. I feel like the real big results could be achieved if a brand would sign up for like consistent like 6 months or like 1 year work with creators, and then like consistently produce items and achieve this like great outreach on the platform that would give the best ROI, give the best results. But unfortunately, again, we don't have like the instruments to measure that. So hopefully like Roblox takes this into consideration and builds the instruments to track and like project these results.
Makes total sense. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, because that would be really hard to track. Track if someone's wearing it, how many people ran by, how many people look at it. But it's possible. I'm sure they could figure that out.
Of course it is. Yeah,
that would be huge for you guys. Yeah, for sure. Well, we're cooking, brother, man. Good job. We're seeing digital fashion become more than just items on a platform. It's turning into a cultural currency. Like, do you think Roblox designers could one day have the same influence as traditional fashion houses?
I think we kind of already do, because, like, as I said, maybe it's like super subjective to me. As I said, like, I don't really buy stuff in the real world. Most of my, spendings there in the digital or like the hardware that I work on.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you a small story. Like, whenever, like, I was in Bali, for example, and then I went to like a village, and then just like was speaking to people, and then some kids like came up to me, and then they asked, just like what I'm doing here, like what I do. I told them I do Roblox. Man, they had Roblox on their phones. They went crazy. And another thing is, like, another side of the world. Like, my wife, she's from a small town in Brazil, and we basically went to visit her family. They found out that I work with like Roblox, and they basically, man, they went nuts. Like, the kid. The kid, he brought all his friends from his school that rode like 30 minutes on a bike just to like see me. And of course, they were all like asking for Robux. And I gave them Robux, and then they spent it all in like one day. And then they came back asking for more. And I said, no, dude, you gotta like earn it. Like, now I'll give you, but now you need to, maybe publish some 2D clothing or something, to not just spend, but like try to earn within this economy. And I don't know, from what I see, the young people that I engage with, they don't get excited about, I don't know, like XYZ shoes as much as, as they do by like Roblox stuff and the stuff they get in the games. And I can also like resonate with this. Whenever the recent example is, the Saitama, I think it came up with it first had a call. The Saitama skin came out on Fortnite. I was so happy, man. I caught the thing.
Yeah.
Within like 10 minutes. And I don't get the same feelings. I don't get the same emotions with, IRL brands.
That is true, man. Like, when they announced, I was always kind of about that with skins as well on Fortnite. And then especially with, they release kicks. And I'm like a sneakerhead. Yeah. So I was collecting all the kicks. And they came out with like weapon skins as well. Like, I was collecting those for a while. Like, no, I agree. Like, I really get into that. Yeah. And I mean,
have you ever compared how much you spent? I would say like probably within, I don't know, like 3 months on like IRL clothes or like virtual, like Fortnite stuff.
Way more on virtual for sure. Because like I just buy like, these are Hanes black t-shirts. Like I don't really buy designer or nice clothes. I have some nice things when I go out for business, whatever. Like, but like generally when I'm wearing anything, I just like comfy shorts. Like, I'm behind a computer. I'm here all the time. So
as soon as you bring your screenshots of your Fortnite locker,
dude, my locker is insane. I mean, I've been playing since the start, so I have very rare items. I mean, probably 10,000, probably 20,000. I don't know how many thousands of dollars my locker is worth technically or whatever.
Yeah, well, here's the answer. Like, we both, like, again, this is not like a professional marketing study, but like, man, our both like experiences, they answer the question. Like, the digital items are probably already, has already happened earlier than yesterday.
Yeah.
More important than more influential than the real world ones.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. And same, my nephews and stuff, I give them V-Bucks, they spend it immediately, they buy whatever skin, like they want to wear, they want to flex what they're wearing, and they love it. And you're right, it's here, it's already here, man. It's, who would have thought? So, it's moving on from the next question. Like, with all the momentum, like, it's natural to think about like where things could go next. Like, could you see Topcat expanding beyond Roblox into other platforms like Fortnite, VR chat, or even like launching IRL tie-ins with your designs?
Yeah. Well, about IRL, I kind of already answered before that like I haven't seen like anyone be successful with it. So, I wouldn't maybe jump in and experiment with that, but we did have a look into different platforms, and specifically we looked at Zepeto, we looked at VR chat, Rec Room, and now, by the way, you can sell like avatar items in Snapchat, which is recent news to me.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, apparently it's like difficult to get in, but we'll like give it a try. Issue there is in all of this platform, besides Fortnite, because Fortnite, doesn't allow avatar items, to be sold by creators.
One day.
Hopefully, yeah. I mean, I'm waiting.
I bet.
Praying on that thing. And the issue is that like all of these markets, specifically Zepeto, VRChat, Rec Room, they are much, much smaller, and like an average creator earns way, way less than on Roblox. And I feel like there is still like so much space to growing on Roblox. Like we can definitely scale more with avatar items, but then also we're already starting to work like beyond that. Also, I'm getting my hands into, making games and just like kind of taking a similar approach, which is just like starting out with something like simple, trying it out, getting some metrics, making some, decisions about whether to continue this game or like kill it, start a new one. And also just like during my vacation, I had an idea of like an infrastructure project for like Roblox that I'm also going to try and just like play around, experiment with. And yeah, I think there's still so much. Roblox economy is so diverse and like so rich in terms of like how many things you can do. Man, I'll tell you, like there is people who have successful shops on eBay of like items inside Roblox games. For example, like Adopt Me or Murder Mystery 2, they have like, tradable items. And there is people who make like thousands, maybe even like tens of thousands of dollars a month. They didn't make the game, man. They made an eBay shop for reselling in-game items on Roblox. That's not just,
that's crazy.
Counter-Strike.
Just in-game items. So it's just like a resale of whatever it is to resell it. Like if it's limited time or whatever, you can. Yeah. I believe it. That's like
the economy is
crazy,
huge, and there is still like so much more space to grow for us, Topcat, and also, man, I would love for our team to leave the legacy of just bringing like some huge IP. I don't know, somebody like Balenciaga, for example, let's call it that, and like be the ones to work with them and bring them on Roblox, but not just for like 5-10 items, but we build a more like long-lasting legacy and like presence on the platform, which people would wear and represent for ages to come.
Yeah,
this is something that we get like really excited about. Again, if it would be technically possible to measure the results of such campaign.
Yeah, it's like when we talked earlier in the podcast. I instantly went there. Like when we were talking about Gucci and Louis, I see it. I see that. Like I see it. Like they're trying. They've tried. Like they do have skins and outfits inside. Well, it's the skins inside of Fortnite. Some of the high fashion brands.
That's why I mentioned Balenciaga.
Yeah.
Because they're the ones that are not that have already started doing it with Fortnite. Yeah,
Cause I think was in. So like there's a few out there like they're and honestly, I think any brand that's really not thinking about that right now, it could fall behind.
Of course, they're gonna miss out on the audience of their future buyers that are gonna outgrow one day the current ones, and nobody's gonna know them. Even I myself, man, even in like simple things like buying, what was it called? I think it was like some soap for washing clothes or whatever. Yeah, basically some like, silly, small, like in just thing that I would never think of, like in terms of, having a brand.
Yeah.
I figured out like getting something that I just saw on Roblox. So I was like, oh, okay, like I know this one. I'll grab this thing.
Yeah, that's great.
And it works.
Dude, wild, man. No, this is a fun space, brother. And again, thank you for coming on and sharing so much. Before we close out, I want to make sure people know how to stay connected with what you're building. Where can listeners find you? Check out Topcat's latest drops. What's next for you and your team as well?
Sure. You can find me on Roblox itself. My username is TopcatRB, and there I have like detailed links of all my work. If you want to check it out, couple of your items. Thanks a lot if you decide to do so. And of social media, I'm not really public, but my main channel is on Twitter, X, TopcatGG.
Awesome. I'll have all those links in the description. Of course, you guys please go follow them. They're crushing it. And yeah, do you want to give any nuggets for what you and your team are up to? Or
well, as I said, I'm really hyped up for this like infrastructure project. If you are interested in seeing what that's gonna turn out, follow me on X, TopcatGG. I'll be like posting more and also posting more about the brand partnerships work that we'll be doing and our own items, etc. Yeah, let's keep in touch. Like If anyone needs any advice, like entering the space or just anything, feel free to DM me on X. I'll be happy to reply.
Man, thank you so much, brother. Class act, Philip. Thank you so much for coming on and sharing so much. Seriously.
Sure. Hope it helps.
I'm sure you did, brother. All right, man. We will catch you later.
Thank you. Thank you.
Huge thanks to Philip for coming on and sharing his journey. If you want to follow what he's been building or check out Topcat Studios, all his socials are linked in the description. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to follow, subscribe, and leave a positive review on your favorite podcast app. It really helps out a lot. I'll see you in a fortnight, which is in 2 weeks. And remember, don't hate, create.